Many cities love building tall towering skyscrapers that define most of the populated cities. The taller the building, the more impressive they become. But not all feats of engineering go upward. Some take part to use the underground and build deep. For that matter, therefore, let's take a look in some of the deepest underground buildings in the world. But before we jump into number 1, be sure that you have subscribed and hit the bell icon to keep yourself informed with amazing videos. With that said, let's jump into our incredible list. Metropolitan Area, Outer Underground Discharge Channel. It may not have a catchy name, but the world's largest underground flood diversion facility is found in Japan. At 72 feet below the ground, about 20 miles from Tokyo to Kasaka. Work on the project started in 1992 and was completed by early 2006. It consists of 5 concrete containment silos with heights of 65 meters and diameters of 32 meters, connected by 6.4 kilometers of tunnels. 50 meters beneath the surface, as well as a large water tank with a height of 25.4 meters and with 59 massive pillars connected to 13,000 horsepower pumps that can pump up to 200 tons of water into the Edo River per second. Makes the place the one-in-ones. Sydney Opera House. The Sydney Opera House is a multi-venue performing arts centre at Sydney Harbour in Sydney, Australia. It is one of the 20th century's most famous and distinctive buildings. At 37 meters below the ground, Sydney Opera House takes a step ahead to most skyscrapers that have surprisingly shallow basement levels. Opened to the public in 1973, while construction began in 1958, taking a decade longer than projected. Though the tip of the main sail stands at over 65 meters, it also takes almost half of its length below the ground. A modern apartment could just as comfortably fit into its depths. Toledo Metro Art Station. Italy. There are thousands of subway stations all over the world. But none may prove more beautiful than the 2012 open Toledo Metro Art Station in Naples, Italy. One of the deepest in the line, the station is 50 meters deep, but still spacious at 463,000 square feet of open air. The station extends below the water table and is the deepest station built on Line 1 of the city to date. The multi-level station integrates the remains of walls from the Aragonese period in the late 1400s and includes a blue mosaic that grows more intense as visitors descend. The subterranean lobby connects with the popular districts. Arsenalna subway station. Arsenalna is a metro station on the Red Line. Opened 1960 and is named after Kiev Arsenal factory. Founded in the 18th century as a production facility for the Russian army. Just over 105 meters below the ground, it is the deepest underground station in the world. The station entrance lies atop of a steep valley next to the Dnieper River. The adjacent station, Dnipro, lies just above ground level close the river bank. In order to avoid a steep descent, the Arsenalna had to be built on level. To travel to the platforms, passengers need to take 2 escalators. Going down from the entrance takes around 5 minutes. Vivos Europa 1. Germany. Safety first is the idea behind the creation of Vivos Europa 1. Originally carved out of solid bedrock under a 120 meters tall mountain to house Soviet military equipment. The now privately owned structure offers 76 acres mixed above and below ground to serve as the world's largest private underground shelter for long-term protection for families. With nearly 228,000 square feet of secured areas, including 3.1 miles of continuous tunnel chambers, Vivos offers quite the underground protection for a family in case of a nuclear disaster. The Large Hadron Collider, CERN. At 175 meters, the Large Hadron Collider is probably the most impressive underground structure. It is not only at a remarkable depth for a construction of its size, but at 27 kilometers long also comprises the world's largest machine. It was completed in 2008 and represents a true feat of modern science and engineering. It is the world's largest and highest energy particle collider and the largest machine in the world. It was built by the European Organization for Nuclear Research between 1998 to 2008 in collaboration with over 10,000 scientists and hundreds of universities and laboratories, as well as more than 100 countries. Cappadocia, Turkey. The discoveries keep coming in the Cappadocia region of Turkey, where teams have repeatedly unearthed massive underground cities, some of which experts say date back as far as 3000 BC. The region was already designated a World Heritage Site for its more than 200 underground cities and villages, but a 2013 find was deemed the largest yet, found inside a 110-acre zone. Welichka salt mine, Poland. Starting in the 13th century and continuing throughout to 2007. The Welichka salt mine reaches a depth of 327 meters and extends via horizontal passages and chambers for over 287 kilometers. The rock salt is naturally of varying shades of gray, resembling unpolished granite rather than the white crystalline substance that might be expected. As one of the world's oldest operating salt mines, with such an influential history, the mine was put to use instead of merely closed and is now full of galleries and chambers on the 9 floors with 3 open to the public. Its attractions include the shafts and labyrinthine passageways, displays of historic salt mining technology, an underground lake, 4 chapels and numerous statues carved by miners out of the rock salt, and more recent sculptures by contemporary artists. Onco Nuclear Repository. At 520 meters, the Onco Spent Nuclear Fuel Repository is a deep geological repository for the final disposal of spent nuclear fuel, the first such repository in the world for high-level waste. The first of its kind in the world. The facility, named Onco after the Finnish for cave, is being built by the company Posiva into granite bedrock about 5 kilometers from Finland's nuclear power plants of Olkiluoto. Once complete, the areas sealed from 2020 onwards will not be accessible by humans for about 100,000 years. Mizunomi Research Laboratory. At 1,000 meters deep, to achieve as close to laboratory conditions as possible in a subterranean geological environment. Japan is currently digging 2 shafts that, once completed, will reach 1,000 meters under the ground. The stability provided at this depth at the Mizunomi site will play an important role in discovering the effectiveness of new tunneling and storage techniques in the manner that only live testing on deep rock formations can provide. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and to watch more videos by tapping the videos above.